you're a racing fan, have you ever wondered what happens to horses once their careers are over?
Well, some spend years training and racing and then never ridden again. But one stables in Surrey provides a home for former jumpers and flat racers. And now the novice riders are being given the chance to be jockeys for a day. Felicity Barr decided to take up the reins.
Coming down towards the final fence.
This was the Lambourne-trained Master Oates winning the Gold Cup 2 years ago. Horses this famous have no need to fear the future. Once they retire, they're well looked after. But what happens to the hundreds of others who never make it to the top? Sadly, they're often put out to grass, sold at auction, or at the very worst end up in the butchers. Major Tom is one of the lucky thoroughbreds. He's been taken in by riding stables in Surrey and is now used for general riding, hacking or even show jumping. Most of the horses at the Painshill stables in Cranley are ex-racers. Many racers retire before they're 4 years old, but instead of being discarded, here they're given a new job and a new lease of life.
There are a lot of them, when they're finished racing, just get turned out in a field because nobody knows what to do to them. And it's not being cruel to them, but it's a shame because they love being ridden, they love being with other horses, they thrive on work, in fact, so it's a shame for them to do anything else.
What is surprising is that most former racers are perfectly safe to be hired out to people who want to go hacking through the Surrey countryside. In fact, as part of National Riding Week, Painshill take up the reins.
Most people tend to think, if they don't know much about ex-racers, that the minute you ask it to canter, you're going to disappear into the blue yonder, out of control. That's not true. There are some that are a bit tricky, but they love going out in company because that's what they're used to doing.
Against me, there was nothing to fear, and for the first time in 15 years, I climbed into the saddle. But I wasn't in for an easy ride.
Hey, come on. Hey.
But in the hands of experienced riders, ex-race horses can be ridden competitively as show jumpers or three-day eventers.
They're not much different from any other horse. I mean, some of them are more forward-going and more forward-thinking, but they're just not that much different. I mean, so if you get a racehorse with a nice temperament, then anyone will ride it.
Back to the novice rider, and it took about half an hour, but towards the end of the ride, I finally felt I had some control of my horse.
Ah, yeah. Now, this is definitely the best way to end a ride. Mind you, you might end up with most of your drink on the floor at this rate. Cheers.
Well, I might not yet be ready to try out the gallops, but at least I've mastered the art of a sedate country walk. Felicity Barr in Cranley for Meridian Tonight.
Yes.